Hey folks, it's Brad Brain. The great Sir John Templeton once famously said that the four most dangerous words of investing are, "This time it's different." Perhaps you might have been recently wondering if somehow this time is different, if we've entered into some new era, if the traditional investment fundamentals are somehow no longer applicable. Well, I'll tell you about the first time somebody asked me if whether this time was different. It was late 1999, the lead up to Y2K, where the concern was whether computers were going to be able to handle the date change. Because the concern was that they weren't. They would freeze, they would crash, that bank accounts would be lost, that airplanes would fall from the sky. Well, none of that ever happened, but the concern was real. I remember a lady, she didn't think I fully appreciated the risk. She thought that somehow this time was going to be different. And my reply was, is it really? Like, disasters don't arrive by appointment. Y2K isn't sneaking up on anybody. We know that it's coming and it's a solvable problem. And sure enough, Y2K was a non-event. But more recently, I've heard about this time is different expressed to me again. And, if I hear something once, it could be a one-off. If I hear it 2-3 times, it could be a coincidence. When I hear it 4 or 5 times, I know people are talking about it. So let's talk about whether this time it's different. So there'll be some out there that'll suggest that contrary to what some people are being perceived as being the opportunity, that opportunity is somewhat tenuous. It's on thin ice. Perhaps even we've entered into bubble territory. We know what happens with bubbles, right? There's a limit to them. They can get bigger and bigger and bigger until they pop. So we've been in bubbles before. We've had bubbles all the time. We have them a lot. And one of the things about myself is I'm a bit of a pack rat. I save stuff. I save old newspapers. So one of the things, sometimes I save them on purpose, but I also have a wood stove at home. And sometimes I save them just because I'm going to use them to light the fire. Well, this one, I didn't save this one on purpose. This was a nondescript day, but it was from January of 2000 when we were fully into bubble territory for internet stocks. And literally I was going to burn this. There was nothing special about it until, as I was about to crumple it up, years later, I realized the historical importance of being able to have this insight into pre-bubble bursting sentiment, right? Because this was the headline shortly after. Bears gouge global markets. The amount of financial destruction that happened when the internet bubble burst was catastrophic. We would have people losing 90% or more of their money. Now, depending on what we're looking at right now, and certainly some of the darlings out there that have captured people's imagination, there's reason to think that there's some bubble elements to some of the more frothy type of investments that are out there. Now, this is something it's interesting because for some people to think that this time it's different, that the laws of gravity no longer are applicable, it's a delusion. And delusions themselves are not anything new. This is a book that was written in the 1840s called Extraordinary Popular Delusions and the Madness of Crowds. It speaks about the South Seas bubble that happened in the 1600s. For nearly 500 years, we've got documented evidence of people willing to suspend disbelief and chase some lottery ticket type of dream that they're going to be able to just get in on this quickly appreciating asset and ride it to financial, not just success, but some dreams of living in a golden palace with 14 Lamborghinis in the driveway. It is the stuff of pipe dreams. And yet we do get these delusions. And people do sometimes think that it is different. But I'm here to tell you that it's 2021, and this time it's not different. It never is. If there's any questions, if there's anything we can do to help, I'm Brad Brain. Give me a call. We are here to be of service. Stay healthy, be well, take care.